Hello, this is your host Lakota Ravoc, and today we're going to be playing Worshippers of Cthulhu. Now, this is a great little game. It's basically Anno 1800, but evil. This game is based on H.P. Lovecraft's Call of Cthulhu. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy this game. I love these kind of city builders with resource management. So we're going to start it up, start a new game, and we're going to play in the standard mode, which is right here in the Dream Shroud. We have to start off by disassembling the ship. And this is the starting island. So this is like a tutorial. I've shut off all the tutorials because I've already gone through a lot of this myself in normal play. You see we have our high priest here who likes to talk to us a lot, even though he has a very weird mouth movement. And one of the first goals we have is to build a lumberjack and a lumber mill. Now, in order to do that, we need to clear some space. So we select one of these houses and it is deconstructed and we get some lumber from that. Now we'll have to do that around the island. You can only do one at a time, so it's a little slow going. Basically, the idea of this game is to build a settlement that worships Cthulhu, and you need to pray, sacrifice, what have you, in order to get renown with Cthulhu and make sure that your disciples are all happy. So there's resource management involved. So if you hover over the name of the island, Dream Shroud, you'll see here down at the bottom, environmental conditions, plank plus 25%, wood plus 25%, so forth. Those conditions are on this island. They give you a boost to those production gains. And then you also see on the island there's unique features like the raw iron and the ritual sites. As you play through the story, you go to different islands and you'll have different setups available to those islands. Now above we have our resource gauges. This tab shows you everything that's in there. Over here we have our faith meter. It tells us how much faith we have to spend. And this is our faith income, which is how much we gain from our followers. This is how many homeless people we have, and they do come in waves eventually. That is Cthulhu's patience, which will happen later. Right now, Cthulhu is not getting impatient, but the meter will slowly tick down as you play, and you have to keep that patience up in order to keep him from basically annihilating your whole settlement. And this meter here is your fanaticism. It shows you how well you're doing. So each bar here has different bonuses to it. So as you step up, you'll get increased zeal or swim speeds, extra followers, reduced follower time. So you want to keep that fanaticism improving as much as possible. So as we're destroying these homes, we're going to go ahead and drop down a lumberjack right over here, really close by. This little building right here in the middle, that is your main storage facility. And that's where all the resources will go. Now you do have a limit to your resources, so you do need to improve that, and you'll be able to do that later. Also in our core, we have our basics. So first thing we get is a dirt road. We're going to go ahead and just drop some down here. And I like to make a line at the beach, and I like to enclose things in with the roads. Helps keep it a little more organized. Now everything needs to be connected by these roads, so we're going to add a dirt road right here to this lumberjack. And we're also going to drop a lumber mill. That way we can produce planks from these logs. Now we got those down, we need to build a builder shack so things can get built. We're going to go ahead and drop that right here. Keep hitting these houses so we keep getting more planks. So you see we've already got our lumber mill built. They just built the lumberjack. And this guy, he's always going to talk to you no matter what. He's going to tell you kind of what you need to do next. Now we need to drop houses. But before we do that, we're going to keep clearing out this space. Now I played this a few times, like just kind of getting the feel of it. I played a demo before they came out with the early access. It's a lot of fun. It's a blast. This is one of my favorite games. I like games that make you evil. Like, I don't know what it is, but these kinds of games like just give you that darker side. It's kind of fun. All right, that should be the last house. So I've already got kind of a layout for these things. And I always keep this double road here because you can fit some things in between that you'll unlock later. And here, just going to extend this out this way. Now each house is 3 by 3. What we're going to do is we're going to make a little grid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. And we're going to put 4 houses in each grid.
At this time, I just want to thank you for coming down and watching. Please make sure that you comment, leave a like, and please make sure you subscribe to my channel for future content. I greatly appreciate it. It'll help me, and it might help you with a little entertainment.
In the center, We're leaving this for a specific reason. And there is a demolish tool right here you can use to get rid of stuff. Now you gotta watch out with roads because it is an expandable square. So sometimes you can get rid of roads that you're not intending to. But this should give us enough room. Yep. 6x6 grid is what I need. And there's our layout. Now, if I could have avoided these rocks, I would have, but this gives us the maximum amount of space that I can use. So we're going to drop some houses here. We need at least 3 for the mission, but we have 6 homeless, so we're going to drop 6 houses. You can't see what these homeless do until they actually have homes. Then each person has a specific job they like. It's like this guy likes to make robes. These people like to work on a corn plantation. This guy likes to work in a lumber mill. We're going to put him in a specific job. So down here in the lumber mill, we're going to select an employed spot, and we're going to put this guy into that lumber mill. So if you assign somebody a job that they like to do, they'll improve their zeal. So it'll rank up, and they'll also level up in that position, which increases your zeal. And then in the second spot, we're just going to assign this robe maker because we don't have that unlocked yet. All right, so in that lumberjack hut, we are going to put in these 2 corn plantation workers because we can't do anything with them yet. And I have no lumberjacks, unfortunately. But fortunately, I do have 2 clam collectors, which is going to make this a little nicer. So if you look at the stat window here, it shows the workers giving 20 zeal, get 100% trees nearby so that they're going to produce a bit more. And the island effect gives us an extra 25%, so they're going to be working very well. Now the next step here is to investigate the ruins near the mysterious hole.
What?
And solve the matter of your faithful. That's this thing right here in front of the big tentacly skull. And now this is where kind of a roguelike aspect comes into play. So you get decision choices you have to make, which have consequences. This one is to thank the old one for allowing him to arrive on his land. We can either light the spires in a way that causes a slow and painful burn to this person that we're sacrificing. Consequences here are you get 10 fanaticism, or release a sacrifice from the spires. You get 1 extra homeless, and you lose fanaticism, which is bad. So we're going to go ahead and light the spire. So now we have to unlock the sacrifice altar in the Eldritch Favor window. That is this thing right down here in the middle. You see I have 1 point. So this is our tech tree. So we'll be able to generate points doing rituals. We're going to unlock the sacrifice altar. It's the only thing we can unlock right now. We have a new building unlocked under the grand altars. There's our sacrifice altar right there. We're going to go ahead and plop that down. And they're going to quickly build that up. And we're going to get an envoy from our god. Isn't he a lovely chap? All right, so we just unlocked rituals for favor, which allows us to gain points so we can unlock things in our tech tree. And we're going to put it in our resources, so now we can enhance it to gain extra points. So here under sacrifice followers, we haven't unlocked that yet. But if we were to sacrifice somebody, we would increase the patience bar so that it wouldn't drain as fast. But with our enhancements, we're going to get a total of 38 points. That costs us 1,500 of our faith to do. So now you'll notice under the sacrifice altar here, we have an upkeep cost of 5 of that faith. Every building has an upkeep cost of faith. So we have to increase our faith by providing needs to our followers. And these will increase as they level up. So you see here under the cult members tab, you have initiates, acolytes, and disciples. When you upgrade someone from an initiate to an acolyte, the amount of things that they need increases. And there, our ritual is done. We're going to complete the ritual. After the first time, you can auto-complete these rituals so you don't have to hit the button. There's our god. So that got us 38 points to put into our Eldritch Favor. So for right now, all I can unlock is the storage. But we need to continue our base quests in order to unlock some of these other things. So we're just going to ignore that for now. The next thing is to interact with a bonfire and listen to our people. That lovely bonfire is right down here. So we need to start getting cooked corn, clams, robes, an elder's temple, and a re-educator, which will happen a little later. So now we're going to go down to our Eldritch Favor here and unlock an elder's temple and a clam collector. Now under basic goods, we have our clam collector. As you see here, costs 100 faith to build, 2 planks, and 2 Eldritch Favor points. So you have to keep a constant increase of those points coming in. So when you construct a building, you'll have the points to spend along with the resources. And you see here, there's also a 10 faith upkeep as well. So you have to keep a constant flow of faith coming in. So we're going to go ahead and drop a clam collector. I'm going to drop him right here. And then under services, we have the Elder's Temple. This is why I left that space in the middle of the houses. As you can see here, it fits in a 6x6 grid. And as you notice with the green hue, it reaches all four corners of our housing grid. So that'll reach every house and fulfill that Elder Temple need. Our clam collector is built. We're going to go ahead and put those 2 unemployed clam collectors in there. That'll improve their zeal. And as I didn't describe this earlier, but worker zeal influences the productivity of the building, as it says right there. The better their zeal, the faster they go. So if they like the job, their zeal will increase dramatically. And the more needs that are fulfilled increases the workers' zeal as well, improving their performance in their jobs, regardless if they like the job or not. Also, the increased amount of needs that you provide them increases their generated faith, giving you points to spend later. Now, because we have 2 people in this clam collector and both enjoy their job, we're running at a medium performance. That means they're a little slow, but as their zeal increases, that performance will increase. And you see they're working at about a 47% production efficiency. This guy just keeps interrupting me. And since we fulfilled some needs, we're moving on to the next stage. My high priest is really creepy, by the way. I mean, it makes sense for this game, but still really creepy. The next step here is to interact with a ship, and we get another choice. A singular boat badly beaten up miraculously arrived on the shore. Its inhabitants clumsily exited to the shore, falling to their knees and kissing the ground. They talk of dreams that beckon them here. Your priest suggests that you should offer some of them in your gratitude to your lord for this gift. So we have a choice of pick the weakest, order for the blood to be used in a ritual, welcome the rest to the flock, for their calling just begins. Or don't sacrifice any of the arrivals and welcome them to the flock, for this is a sign of your God and all will be useful. Honestly, I only lose 1 between them, so this gives me 11 homeless, and this gives me 12. But I'll get 10 fanaticism if I choose this. So we're just going to go ahead and do this. We got an extra 10 fanaticism points. We need 50 more to get to the next stage. And we got 11 new homeless. So it's time to start building some houses. And as we're building those, our high priest asks us to come talk to us. And basically he's just saying that we need to improve our devotion, so we're going to take a ceremonial blade. And he wants us to build a ceremonial hall. The ceremonial hall is here underneath the tech tree. It costs 15 points, and we only have 14. So we need to begin another ritual. We're going to go ahead and hit the autocomplete. And unfortunately, I only have enough resources to get an extra 12 points. So we'll get 24, but that's okay. I always try to maximize those rituals as much as possible because it really helps. But as we gain more house followers, we have more people that can do jobs. If we're lucky enough, we might actually get somebody that can do something like the lumberjack. There we go. We got a lumberjack, and we got an extra lumber mill person. Go ahead and assign them to those jobs real quick. And you see there are a lot of types of jobs. And you'll have to manage those people between islands later down the road. For now, we're also going to get an extra clam collector, even though we have no extra ones. We're going to go ahead and assign this corn plantation guy. That increases our performance to perfect, which means we'll be getting more clams quickly. And the same thing with our lumber mill and our lumberjack. Both have perfect on them now, so we're getting a lot of resources quickly. Now that we have 38 points again, we're going to go ahead and unlock that ceremony hall. And we're going to save some points for later down the road. Now under core, we just got our ceremony hall, and we're going to drop that right here. So what the ceremony hall does is allows you to change people's designations. Under ceremonial carving, we're able to take someone that has a job of a specific type and change that specific type with a very grotesque ritual. And since I put that corn plantation worker in the lumberjack area, we're going to change him into a lumberjack. So go down to the book of symbols here, and you can see there are different types of specializations. Each carving has a choice of 2. We need the lumberjack, so we're going to click on that, and it shows us the type of carving we need to make. So we're going to basically dig our blade into this person's back and create this symbol so that they can become a lumberjack. It's very difficult to do. We won't show the grotesqueness of it though. Now that we put the symbol on his back, we're going to see if we did a good job. We got lucky. So we can choose between ale brewery and lumberjack for the profession now. We're going to go ahead and make him a lumberjack. That increased our fanaticism, getting us closer to the next stage. So even if you have a surplus of people, a certain profession, you can change that profession with a very grotesque ritual. So you can see we have an arrow above our obelisk here. That means we have a follower decision to make. And there'll be a lot of these little roguelike decisions that you can make as you play. So this is a lumberjack problem. People who don't know what happens to some of the materials they produce. They're convinced they disappear somewhere, but they're afraid to approach the smelly end of the yard, where strange indentations in the ground can barely be seen. We have a choice of do not fear my faithful, our God will light our path. Go and see if the missing materials are in there, which gives us 6 lumber and a -10 to our fanaticism. Or in many tombs, I have uncovered that there was a mention of foul creatures that digs deep and its hunger is endless. Gather materials and cover the hole. That gives us 5 fanaticism. Well, I don't really need to worry about getting the lumber, so I'm just going to go ahead and take the extra 5 fanaticism because that's going to help. That was a pretty cut and dry choice, but there are some that are not as cut and dry and won't tell you what the consequences are. So be ready for some fun choices in the future. So now we have to achieve at least a 350 faith income by providing housing and meeting their needs. And currently we're at 102. So we need to start making cooked corn and providing robes to increase their needs and get their generated faith up higher. But since we need the planks, I'm going to increase the lumberjacks by another building. That'll increase our wood production. And if you want to see exactly how much you're producing and how much you're consuming, just go down to this little graph tab down here and click on it. And this menu will show you exactly what you're consuming versus what you're producing. So I'm currently making 8.4 wood with these 2 buildings, and I'm only consuming 4.5 to make planks. So if you look at the clams here, I'm producing 1.7 tons of clams, and they're consuming 1 ton of that because our efficiency is down to 86% right now. We only have 2 people in that clam collector shack. So we're going to put another one in there and increase that production a little bit. But something they just recently added to the game was a select a mode. So here you can choose a ceremony mode, boon or trial. Boon, you beseech the old one for its boon. Whatever you carve, it grants your chosen desire. It takes 10 minutes to cool down versus trial, where you actually do the carving and that cooldown is 5 minutes. Personally, I don't change their professions that often, so I'm going to choose boon. I'm going to change this clam collector, who actually likes to work in the corn plantation, into an actual clam collector. So now all I have to choose is the clam collector, finish my carving, and I get the desired profession I want. You can only do that after the first carving. Now that I have 40 planks, we're going to build another idol and claim some of those delicious Eldritch favor points.
Well, that's very good.
Now we can unlock our corn plantation and our corn cooker. Since we claimed those things, we filled this bar up down below it. We now need to have a faith income of 130 just to unlock the next tier. So we're going to drop a corn plantation down right here. Thankfully, we've got a couple of corn plantation guys that can work at it and a corn cooker right next to it. Let's put in these 4 corn cookers here. You can have a maximum of 5 people, but with 4 already to start that like the job, that's going to really help with our production. All right, now that we have some corn in production, let's go ahead and talk to the Harbinger and see what he has to say. Your entreaties found favor and thus came the reward. Now your god hungers for another offering. Lead them to the abyss as a sacrificial gift and your wisdom shall be broadened. So basically what he told us is that we need to build this summoning ritual site, summon a horror, and attack this town so we can take this over. I think that'll be our goal today. Let's go ahead and unlock the ritual site since we have the points. Now under conquest, we have the summoning ritual site and we have the materials we need to build it. As you can see, we need to place it on water. So let's go ahead and just pop it right here.
A few moments later.
And they got that built. So now that we have this built, they want us to summon Azathir. But we can't do that until we unlock and build these pylons. And since I just did another tribute, we've got enough points to unlock it and drop them down on one of these 3 circles over here. We got another mission here to interact with a group of people at the shore who were doing that bonfire earlier. So they saw a ship in the distance and something fell off of it. And we believe it's people. Now we start getting followers coming to us. The followers will show up every 10 minutes. So now we'll get a steady income of followers. And every time we get a new wave, we'll have to build up houses for them so that they can show us what kind of professions they like to do. And now that we have that pylon erected,
We did it!
Talk about all rise. Giggity.
we can go down to the summoning ritual site and enter it and see what we need to summon Azathir. So to summon Azathir, we need to sacrifice 2 people, have 2,000 faith that we can spend, and have 20 blood on hand. So we're going to need to make some blood drainers that can drain blood out of sheep. And since we just got 5 homeless people, We're going to build some houses and see what kind of things they can do. We've got 5 new houses placed down for the 5 new homeless people. And since we need blood drainers, let's go ahead and unlock the blood drainer, the sheep farm, and the robe maker, and make another ritual sacrifice. This way we have points to use when we actually need to build those structures. Now you can see under the basic goods tab, we have sheep farm and a robe maker. And under the conquest tab, we have the blood drainer. Once we get the points from our ritual, we'll go ahead and place those down. So let's drop a sheep farm here. And I unlocked the storage. So we're going to drop one nearby because if they have to travel too far, they won't be able to produce. So we'll put a warehouse right here. Now, the nice thing about this game is that storage is universal. That means regardless if you have 1 or 5 islands, everybody can access what's in storage. We're going to drop a blood drainer right here and a robe maker right next to them. And since we got our 5 homeless people housed, let's see what they can do. So we got 3 robe makers who are unemployed. That'll be good. We got a corn plantation person that's unemployed. We'll probably put them in a different job. We got a 5th corn cooker. That's great. We'll put him into there. We have 2 sheep farmers. That's going to help. And I've got 2 blood drainers, both in a lumberjack. So we'll probably take this corn cooker and move him in to the lumberjack because it's just extra wood. Put those sheep farmers in. That'll give us a perfect sheep farm performance. While we're waiting, we just keep making effigies when we have enough lumber. To be honest, this run is doing really well. I'm getting a lot of people that are specialized in jobs that I need them to be in. So it's helped out a lot. A lot of my other runs, I get a mix mash of people that I have to throw into another job. But I'm getting a lot of people that are designated for specific tasks that are really helpful right now. All right, we've got a couple of blood drainers. We're going to put those guys in right now. And some robe makers. The robe maker is going to help out our needs in the houses. So that'll increase our faith generated as well as their zeal. So it'll improve the performance of all the other buildings. And it should also increase our income of faith. So that means we'll probably hit that target of 350 faith for our quest really quickly. We've got about 5 minutes till the next wave of homeless come in. And our fanaticism is doing really well. We only need 15 points more. And to get that 15 points, we might just change that corn plantation guy into a lumberjack. But we have a decision that we need to make. Birthday. Amidst a birthday celebration, a family decides to offer a captured homeless soul to the old one in exchange for a blessing. The crowd cheers, and a white-robed girl lies spread on the table, a grin unsettling wide as she waits the gentle touch of the blade. You are called upon to honor the house and conduct the ritual. First choice, without hesitation, plunge the blade into her chest. It gives us 5 extra fanaticism. Before committing the deed, you perform a speech to your people. Unknown consequences. Refuse to kill the girl, plunge the blade to her hand, proclaiming that the offering of blood blesses the crowd. We'll get 1 homeless person and -5 fanaticism. Well, we don't want to lose fanaticism. And I have chosen this before in my own playthrough. So before committing the deed, we're going to perform a speech. That'll get us 10 eldritch points and 20 fanaticism, increasing our fanaticism into the next stage. And with awakening, we get a +1% to global zeal, an extra 1 horror swim speed, and an extra follower arriving. So now we'll get 6 followers instead of 5. And we just completed that mission to get faith income above 350. So we're actually accumulating a lot now because of the robes. And we have another choice, blood of the guilty. So basically they've got some people that just wander into town. We need to either command the people to release them and guide them towards initiation into the cult. The weak may yet become strong. We'll get 3 followers, or order the people to be blood dry. Those with whom you cannot communicate are of no use to you, weak and insignificant. That'll get us 10 blood. Considering I have a constant income of followers, I'm not too worried about 3 extra, so we'll get blood. So you can see right here, we now have 12 out of 110 in our storage. Once we hit 20, we can release the beast. But first we need to wait a few minutes for us to get some more followers because we're going to need to sacrifice a couple of people. And while we're waiting, we'll also get a few more houses for the new people arriving and just have those prepared and ready to go when they get here. The next thing they want us to do is unlock the ancient lighthouse. We have to click on this and clear out the rubble. And we've got enough lumber that we're going to do another ritual. Now we have to unlock the beacon altar. Get that done. And go ahead and build that right here. What the beacon altar will do is you perform a ritual and it'll get you more followers on the next cycle. So if you're a little low on people and need to get them in to make sacrifices and other things, That's how you do it. Now, each ritual needs a bunch of different things. So for the follower ritual, we need clams, cooked corn, planks, and robes. And then to enhance that, we'll need some extra blood and extra robes. I'm not too worried about getting followers right now. So we're just going to bypass this for the moment. Honestly, with how fast they actually come in, you really don't need to do that ritual too often. And as your fanaticism increases, you get more followers per cycle. So it's kind of unnecessary. But we got just enough blood that we can summon our first Eldritch Horror. So we're going to sacrifice these 2 lumber mill workers because we don't need them right now. And we're going to go ahead and summon them. Here comes our pretty new pet right now. All right, to order our lovely new pet, we click on him with our left mouse button. And then we right click on where we want him to go. So let's go destroy a town. Just like that, we just got ourselves a new island. Victory of the Righteous. We can now claim this settlement as our own. Call the unworthy in the name of the god. Leave only a few most promising that could be of use to us. Have his name on your mouse when you dispose of the unfaithful. That'll get us 7 prisoners and 15 fanaticism. Focus on gathering as many unfaithful as possible. Spare no resources or effort. We'll need them all. That'll get us 20 prisoners. It's time for a grand celebration. You will be rewarded for your efforts, my dear acolytes. I proclaim the time of the great of the senses. Eat, drink, destroy, call them in the name of our Lord, fulfill your desires. That'll get us 1 prisoner and 40 fanaticism. As much as I love fanaticism points, prisoners are really good. We need them because we can turn them into followers. But I don't need that many prisoners. So we're going to choose this one here. It gives us a little bit of both. And just like that, Black Sand Isle is ours. So Black Sand Isle has a dream spire, sandstone deposit, raw iron deposit, and a coal deposit. It has a boon to sheep, corn ale, corn, and tomatoes, but lumberjacks and lumber milling, it has a reduced productivity to it, so we won't be doing any on this island. So what we'll be doing is moving our corn production and our sheep production over to this island and moving those people to stay here because they can only do the work on the island that they're at. So they have to live there. Fortunately, islands share resources and followers, so we don't have to worry too much about that. But we summoned our Eldritch Horror, we took over a new island. I'm going to stop this one here today. We'll come back and we'll play this again and we'll build a new settlement and move our corn and our sheep production to this island. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please make sure you subscribe, like, and comment on the video. And we'll see you next time. This is Lakota Ravoc signing out. Bye-bye. You're welcome, buddy.